Welcome everyone to the Season 7 opener of Monday Night Drags. Now remember, the 164 scale Hot Wheels and Spin Master trucks will be returning in Season 8. Here tonight for Monday Night Drags, it's all about the mini trucks. And as you see, they're all lined up and ready for action here on a brand new track that the Outlaw Track Crew has worked very hard on to make happen. This will be the third track in the lineup of Diecast Monster Truck Outlaws, and this will also be the first time that trucks are not racing side by side. They're coming from different directions. And to get things kicked off in round one, that's Jason Wook in the Monster Mutt, and his opponent in the other lane is going to be John Cadux in the school bus. Both these drivers are getting staged and ready at the line now. And as you can see, the both directions I was talking about, here they come down the stretch, and a very close one. John getting a little sideways, but let's see who gets it done. And Jason Wook in Monster Mutt is going to get there first and punch his ticket into round two action. Now up next to the line, that's Kimberly Cooper. She's behind the wheel of the Blue Thunder Machine. Her opponent in the other lane is going to be Mitch Brown in the Bone Shaker. Now, Mitch Brown, generally we see him in the Bigfoot Machine, but in the old school series, he's in the Grave Digger, and here in this mini series, he's in the Bone Shaker. We're excited to see what he can do. Kimberly Cooper still getting her feet wet out here on the circuit, but let's see if she can knock off Mitch Brown here in round one action. They're staged and ready, waiting on the green light. See who can get across the line first. Here they come down the stretch. Whoa, both of them got a little out of shape, but Kimberly Cooper out of shape first, doesn't cross the line, and Mitch Brown is going to get by her and get the job done, moving into round two action. Up next to the line now, this is Aaron Church in the Bakugan Dragonoid. His opponent in the other lane is going to be Ashley Aube in the Podium Crasher Machine. Both these drivers here, actually, she is still coming off that big event victory of Diecast Monster Truck Outlaws versus Monsters of Mayhem. She's getting the big prize pack and the trophy. She's awaiting that. And they're getting staged and ready at the line now to see who's going to get it done moving into round two action. Aaron Church, he finally got the Titan machine dialed in. And then about the time he done that, Corey Marvin let him go from the team. So he'll be an independent driver coming in the next season, and he'll be behind the wheel of the V8 Bomber. But here tonight, let's see if he can get it done. Down the stretch, across the line. That's a close one there, but I believe Ashley Aube got it done first, getting across the line in the Podium Crasher, and it's confirmed she does get there first. Now up next to the line, this is her boyfriend, the Outlaw Joshua Wells, behind the wheel of the Max D, and his opponent is going to be the Madman Ryan Hayward in the Bigfoot Machine. Now only here on this channel and over on MTA will you see a Max D versus Bigfoot throwdown. Hardly ever have these trucks raced each other. It's excited to see them line up next to the line. And if you recall, between these two drivers, last Saturday in the old school series, these two were actually in the finals. The favor going to Joshua Wells. Can he get it done here? Coming down the stretch, they're pretty close. Oh, that's going to be another close one. We're going to have to get the photo finish on that one. They were both gunning for it. Ryan Hayward trying to get Joshua Wells back for winning in the old school series, but let's see. And Ryan Hayward wasn't able to pull it off. The Madman going on the trailer. The Outlaw moving into round two. Coming up next to the line now, that's Steve Jones. He's behind the wheel of the Dragon Machine. We usually see him in Virginia Giant. And his opponent is going to be Corey Marvin in the Mega Rex in the other lane. Two Dragons set to throw it down. Corey Marvin, we usually don't see him out here on the Outlaw circuit. He's still getting his feet wet a little bit. He's excited to be in this series to see what he can do. And Steve Jones, he never misses a race here on Outlaws. He's been in every series so far, and he's excited to see what he can do behind the wheel of the Dragon Machine. And now the Dragon Machine, we usually see Justin Lamb pilot it, but here tonight in this series, Steve Jones is going to have it. Here they come down the stretch. Another close finish. I believe Steve Jones may have got it done, but we're going to check the Outlaw photo finish to see. And yes, indeed, he does get it done. Steve Jones and the Dragon moving on. Corey Marvin and Mega Rex on the trailer. Up next to the line now, that's Wild Man Ryan Johnson and the Crazy Bull El Toro Loco. And his opponent in the other lane, that's the old timer James Valancourt and the Abyss Male. Now both these drivers here, they are longtime veterans, not only here on Outlaws, but they've been around for quite some time over on the MTA circuit as well. They have a long history of racing against each other, a good friendship, and we're going to see who's going to be able to be the first one to get the victory over the other here in this mini series. Wild Man Ryan Johnson and El Toro Loco, James Valancourt and Abyss Male, they're staged and ready at the line. Here they come down the stretch, and another close one. James Valancourt comes sliding across the line in style. Wild Man taking it down, bumping into Steve Jones a little bit. And Ryan Johnson is going to get the victory, and El Toro Loco moving on to round two. James Valancourt on the trailer. Up next now, that's Jammer Clark in the Soldier Fortune Black Ops. We've seen him out here once before in the Avenger S10 as a special guest in a 3-wide racing event. And his opponent is going to be Blake Willis in the Taxi. Now, a lot of you Outlaw fans that have been around since the beginning, you know all about Blake Willis. He's one of the top drivers out here on the circuit, won the first ever championship. He's excited to be in this mini series to see what he can do in the Taxi Machine. And Jammer Clark over here in the near lane, he's still getting his feet wet out here, but he done pretty darn good in that special 3-wide event that he was in. Let's see what he can do here. Down the stretch, coming across the line. I believe he got it done over Blake Willis, and that's a big victory for Jammer Clark. Let's get the photo finish to be sure here. And yes, he does. Jammer Clark and Soldier Fortune Black Ops moves on to round two. Blake Willis in the Taxi going on the trailer. Now here to close out round one action, that's Donald Price Jr. and the Gravedigger. You're probably most familiar with him in the Avenger and the Big Kahuna, but he's in the Gravedigger now. And his opponent is none other than Todd Sism in the Wild Streak. Todd out here still getting his feet wet like many others. He actually competed in the Hot Wheels series, drove the Megalodon, had a tough time, could never get the truck dialed in and pick up a victory. But he's excited to see what he could do here in the Wild Streak. Donald Price Jr., you know he's a tough competitor, and he's going to rock and roll in the Gravedigger. They're staged and ready at the line now, waiting on the green light to see who's going to be the last one to move into round two. Let's see who gets it done here. Down the stretch, coming across the line, it's another close one. We'll have to get another photo finish here to see who did get it. Looking at it now, Donald Price Jr. in the Gravedigger moves on to round two. Todd Sism and Wild Streak on the trailer. Now here we are with round two action. Jason Wook brings the Monster Mutt machine back to the line, and his opponent is going to be Mitch Brown in the Bone Shaker. Jason had a pretty good looking run in the first round with the Monster Mutt machine, but Mitch Brown looked good also. Let's see who's going to be the first here to punch their ticket into the semifinals. These two have been matched up a few times before. I think their records are about equivalent to each other, but let's see who's going to be the first to get it done here in the mini series. Monster Mutt taking on Bone Shaker. They're staged and ready at the line, waiting on the green light to see who's going to be the first to get into the semis. Down the stretch, here they come. Look out. Mitch Brown flips it over. Still a close finish, though. We're going to get the photo finish. And Jason Wook and Monster Mutt is going to get it done. Mitch Brown rolls it over and goes on the trailer. Up next to the line now, The outlaw Joshua Wells returns in the Max D, and he is set to take on none other than his girlfriend Ashley Aube in the Podium Crasher in the other lane. Sorry about that, guys. Still recovering just a little bit. These two here, they haven't faced each other many times before. This will be one of the very few times that they face off, and we're excited to see who's going to get it done. Joshua Wells in the Max D, Ashley Aube in the Podium Crasher, stays and ready, waiting on the green light to see who gets it done. Boyfriend and girlfriend matchup. Here they come down the stretch. They look pretty even. Look out. Ashley Aube flips the Podium Crasher over, but I believe she still may have got it done. We're going to check the photo finish here. And indeed, she does get it done, flipping over. I think Joshua Wells just didn't want to spend the night in the doghouse. Nonetheless, she moves on. Up next to the line now, that's Steve Jones. He's back in the Dragon, staged and ready at the line, and his opponent is Wild Man Ryan Johnson in the El Toro Loco. Now, Wild Man Ryan Johnson, he's got quite the record across both Outlaws and MTA. I don't believe he's ever matched up against Steve Jones before, though. And you know, he would love nothing more than to put Steve Jones on the trailer. But Steve doesn't back down from anybody, and he is a fierce competitor. Let's see who can get it done here. Down the stretch, Steve's got a big run on him, and he's going to put Wild Man Ryan Johnson on the trailer. A fast-looking run by Steve. He gets it done into semifinal action. Coming up to the line now, Jammer Clark brings the Soldier Fortune Black Ops machine back here in round 2 action. Set to face off against Donald Price Jr. in the Grave Digger machine. Rocking that orange and black paint scheme that Morgan Kane ran in a World Finals. I can't remember exactly which one right now. Excuse me for that. Like I said earlier, Donald, a top competitor, a 2-time Outlaw champion out here in the Spin Master Series with the Big Kahuna machine. But Jammer Clark would love nothing more than to upset him. They're staged and ready at the line, waiting on the green light. Black Ops taking on the Grave Digger. Let's see who'll be the last to punch their ticket in. Down the stretch, Jammer's got a big lead on him, and he's going to get the upset over Donald Price Jr. in the Grave Digger. A great piece of driving by Jammer. He moves on. Here we are with semifinal action. Here's Jason Woolk again, who's been very consistent tonight in the Monster Mud. But in the other lane, Ashley Aube's looked very good as well in the Podium Crasher. Let's see who's going to be the first to punch their ticket into the finals and see about getting the victory here tonight. As I said earlier, both trucks have looked good all night long, but only one can move on. Will it be Jason Woolk in the Monster Mud, or will Ashley Aube punch her ticket into the finals with that bad-looking Podium Crasher? They're staged and ready, waiting on the green light now. Here they come down the stretch. They look, oh, look out. I was about to say they looked even, but then I noticed Jason Woolk getting wild, gets out of shape, barely crosses the finish line, but Ashley Aube gets it done first, and she is in the finals. Now, who will her opponent be? Will it be Steve Jones in the Dragon machine, who has looked good all night, but you can't count out Jammer Clark neither, because he's also looked good in the Soldier Fortune Black Ops machine. Now, as I said earlier, Jammer is still basically a rookie out here, but again, he would love nothing more than another big upset win over Steve. But you know Steve, like I said, he's a fierce competitor, and he's not going to back down for anybody. And he's looking for his first victory out here on Outlaws in the mini-series. Dragon taking on Soldier Fortune Black Ops. Who's going to punch their ticket to the finals? Waiting on the green light. Who's going to face off against Ashley Aube in the Podium Crasher? Here they come down the stretch, and Steve Jones with a bad, fast-looking run in the Dragon is going to get it done, putting Jammer Clark on the trailer for the night. Now, here we are with the finals. Who's it going to be to win the first ever mini-series race here on Diecast Monster Truck Outlaws? Is it going to be Steve Jones in the Dragon machine, or will Ashley Aube get it done in the Podium Crasher? Now, Steve is very competitive out here and very consistent. He's been around the outlaw circuit for quite a while now, but hasn't picked up a victory yet. Can he get it done here tonight in this brand new series, or will Ashley Aube get her second victory here on Outlaws? Because remember, she is the Outlaws versus Mayhem champion. Can she get it done over Steve Jones, or is it Steve Jones time? We're about to find out. Dragon taking on Podium Crasher. Who's going to get it done? Here they come down the stretch. Oh, and it's a close one, but Ashley Aube in the Podium Crasher is going to put Steve Jones on the trailer here tonight. Congratulations to Ashley Aube with the Podium Crasher on your your second victory out here on Outlaws, but first in the mini-series and the first to get it done. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Monday Night Drags. If you haven't already, be sure to shoot the subscribe button, leave a like, check out the group on the description of the video for a chance to race here, and we'll see you guys next Saturday. Thank you all for the support.